69% of those alerts to appointments. Based on our ratio, we're 78% of them are showing up, and a third of those are being sold. And the gross would be
around $3,000 a car.
Well, the alerts are all sent to me personally, my personal email. I listen to each one of them, and I either direct them to the BDC rep who's responsible for the alert. If not, they're not here, then I will go ahead and pursue them myself and call the customer and get that appointment and or the sale, whichever is easiest to handle. The overall process is they come to me, I review them, and I send them back to the reps who generated it because they did not do something correctly, and it's used as a training issue. We would have, counting all the reps and myself, probably 12 to 13 people involved in the process. There's fewer deals, phone calls slipping through the cracks.
We're able to see opportunities that we didn't recognize, that we knew there was some business there, but not to that extent. I mean, there was so many deals we didn't have to spend another $1 advertising, and if we just handled the calls better, we could pick up incremental sales.
At the office. The whole process occurs at the office. We don't get very many, since we're only open to 8 o'clock at night, we don't tend to get any calls after that, so therefore the deal alerts would not appear until business hours.
We have ongoing training. We do phone script training, how to overcome objections, and we'll role play with them periodically. Ken will then listen to the deal seating calls and look for opportunities in where we were ineffective in getting appointments or ineffective in collecting the phone number. So it's a great process. I think it's worked out for us.
Well, the reasons for alert is because we have caller ID on our phones. So a lot of times they won't ask for it because they have it there. So they fall short of trying to get maybe a better phone number than where they're calling from. Maybe they're calling from work and we need to get their home or cell phone number so we can follow up with a text message. Most of the drop calls are not getting the appointment and not getting the phone number. Who was asking for a current model year Camaro convertible. My rep assumed it meant brand new. As it turned out, it was used. They were in a state that was about 250 miles south of us in Tennessee. I called the lady back because I found it on the used car site, called the customer, made arrangements. The rep then finished up the process. 2 days later, they used their saved air traffic pricing to fly up here and drive the car back. I think Steve has hit it. We were finding out that we aren't as good as we thought we were because stuff was slipping through. And it's kind of had us refocus and revisit the basics of the phone business.
We can figure out whether it's a situation where the employee needs to learn the process, in the process I mean the phone tracks, or they know the phone tracks, and we have an employee who's just being lazy or is not following the track. And in that situation, Ken has to have a training session to figure out why. Why aren't you doing this? Do you not believe that this is the way it should be done? And look at this opportunity here.
And in some cases, when I get a person that's really stubborn, I will pick up the phone call and show them how easy it is to get the appointment, right while they're sitting there. because I know it can be done if they follow the process we've put in place. Oh well, I can tell you, between 12 and 20. I remember that number from last month. I wish we would have had this type of stuff when I was selling cars, because it'd make my life so much simpler to know where I missed and how I can fix it.
I think, it can be a bone of contention. It really can be something that's very frustrating, because you go through these calls and you feel like, why are our people not handling these calls effectively? And when you look at the situation from a different perspective, you say, look, these are opportunities. We're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars advertising to get folks to come into the dealerships, when in fact, if we just spent a little more time working with the employees to train them, reiterate it, have them go back and show us, so that we know that they understand how it works. And when that starts to work, it's kind of a good feeling when you start to hear it, and you start hearing calls that are done correctly. There are always going to be opportunities. There will always be opportunities, because somebody's going to get lazy, or somebody else has got something on their mind. But when you call them out, they know you're paying attention. It's a lot better feeling than the feeling you have when you never got to hear any of the calls.